Well, you would have all heard by now what's going on in the world, and I don't know how many of you are bothering with the news, not bothering with the news, how many of you are actually concerned or not concerned. You know what though, there was one person that I spoke to. She's really nice, and she actually watches and that when she can is my videos. She actually said to me, and she said, COVID isn't over, it'll never ever be over. But do you know what? Push COVID to one side. The government can push COVID to one side all they want. But at the end of the day, she said, I can tell you this right now, there is something coming that is going to top this, and it's going to be worse. Now obviously I don't speak American, and I can't speak exactly her words, so I can't exactly say to you exactly word for word exactly what she said. So I'll put it in my way. She said there is something coming, and it's going to be a lot worse. And the reason why I had to rearrange my words is so that when she reads this or listens to this, and that she'll be like, oh, it's okay, I don't expect you to talk like I do, and that, you know, you're not American, and that, obviously you're UK and that, and but yeah, I did say to you something would be a lot worse. What I didn't expect to be a lot worse about the war. This war isn't between Russia and UK, or Russia and America, or Russia and Canada, or Russia and any other country. This war is between Russia and Ukraine. And Ukraine never asked to start this fight. It was actually, now I'll get this name wrong, and I know I will, so just so you do know. Putin, I think it's called. Now I also just found out, now it's been 3 days now and it's scary as hell. And obviously nobody wants this, nobody asked for this. Why has he started this? Nobody knows why he started it. Apparently he's 70 odd years old, he's got all the women he wants in the world, he's got all the money he wants in the world, but apparently he wants more power. And to do this, he wants to take over Ukraine. Now tell me if I'm wrong, because your news might be different than mine. I can only go off what I hear, but that's what they're saying. He wants to take over Ukraine, he wants the power. He wants to take over that country, he wants to take over the people, he wants to control that country. But in our news, they have been saying he is the worst version of Hitler. They're all saying it's like he's got Hitler inside of him. He's being exactly like Hitler. Even his own army, apparently don't even want to do this. He's making them do this. Again, like Hitler. He's starting off a war in another country, just like Hitler. Nobody knows why he's doing this. It's been 3 days now. Back in Hitler time, it was for 10 years. Now if you turn around to me and say, but it wasn't for exactly 10 years, it was for exactly this. That's all I know. The history in school and going, you know, everything that we've heard, 10 years was the war with Hitler. Now, they have said that this war could go on for years, which we don't want it to. It's only been on for 3 days and yet we're already panicking. Boris obviously wants to discuss, wants a normal talk with him. He wants a discussion with him. He wants to do this thing nicely, quietly and peacefully. Ain't gonna happen. This guy in Russia is like, I don't want to talk. I don't even want to discuss. I don't even want to make any agreements or any arrangements. I don't even want to listen to your words. So I have just seen on TikTok, he's now apparently to support Ukraine, giving them 88 million. I mean, he's giving them help, okay, he's giving them help, he's giving them tanks. I hope but those tanks to help out the country, which is, this is where it's going to get really, really confusing and really, really hard work. He isn't sending those army tanks to Ukraine. He's actually sending them to the UK army base. What's that going to mean? What's that going to mean to Russia? It is going to mean to Russia that obviously if we help Ukraine by bombing Russia from our country, they're going to attack back us. That's where Boris now has turned around onto the live and said, with COVID on our news, we had a big warning. And we had big red signs saying, you know, he's my mum's even said to me that he's even told us that on our news we might even get a warning on our news to say right, things are getting more serious, things are happening more, and you know, this is going to happen, that's going to happen. Now, maybe none of you are panicking. Maybe you lot are thinking this is all fake, this is not real, this is not going to happen, it was just like COVID, it's not going to do anything, you know, it's a lot of rubbish. But it's not. It's going to happen. You lot might be thinking, look, get on with your life. Get on with paying your bills. Get on with bringing up your kids. Taking your kids to school. Don't worry about this war. It's not happening to us. It's not in our country. Now, some of you will be thinking this. Not being funny. I would rather think about reality and what our news is going to be like. Some of you people might even turn around and actually say, well, until a bomb hits me on my ass, I don't want to know. Fine. Absolutely fine. But you know what? I don't want to take a risk like that. I've got a life. I've got kids, I've got a house, I've got bills to pay, I've got a life to live. My kids have got a life to live, they've got a future. But what's that future of ours right now? Our future right now, believe it or not, which you might think this is absolutely stupid, our future right now is being held it's being held back because what is our future looking like right now? Seriously, what is our future looking like right now? I mean, what exactly, you tell me what exactly is going on. You might say, nothing's going on, nothing's happening in our country, I'm going off to work, I'm behind my desk, or I'm doing my job, or I'm building this house. You know, I'm going to see my kids next week or next month. You might be like, I'm not thinking about that. I don't want to look at the news. But there might be others out there who are exactly on the exact same page as me. There might be others out there who are exactly the same as me, who are panicking. Do you know what I've just gone and done? Totally ultra pro, which basically means that we're always on guard. We're always waiting to see what happens. We're always like expecting the unexpected. We're always aware, and you can never be prepared enough. Never ever be prepared enough for anything. Now, if you're exactly the same as me, you're going off to work and you don't see the news, and obviously it's gonna be different. But when Boris turns around and says, you know, expect like a red warning sign on your news, it's hard work to explain it right now, because when we had COVID and that, it said, you know, they shut down the entire town, you know, and people weren't allowed to go out to work, and you couldn't go out or anything like that. And if you went out of your house, you only went out for a reason. You couldn't even take your kids to school. You have to homeschool your kids. You know what? Going through COVID was horrible. It was nasty. None of us can describe how bad going through COVID was. It was just horrible, and I don't know what else to say about COVID. But we all know that it was real. But some people saying it was also controlled. It was controlled by a guy who tried to do something to the UK. Now that Russia have attacked Ukraine and everybody's getting involved, I'm kind of getting worried, because now when Boris turns around and says, you know, we tried to do this calmly, discussionally, we tried to do this, you know, the best way we can. I don't know about you, but some people aren't for talking to. Some people are not for discussing things with. Some people are just simply not for, like, right, I'll put it this way to you. Somebody has a fight in the street. Yeah? Somebody has a fight in the street. Would you go over to them? Try to help out? Try to stop it? Or would you not? You might think that this thing that I've done isn't stupid. You might think it's sensible. So this really stupid thing that I've gone and done is I started thinking about getting hold of a bag and started putting things into it, like, you know, say a I forgot what you call it now, but like a kit full of bandages and plasters and stuff like that, nappies, putting things in that we basically need into bags. Now, maybe you might think that this is like, you might think that what I'm doing is over the top. Yeah? But what are you supposed to do in a panic? What are you supposed to do if somebody turns around and says, we may expect the warning signs? You might think to yourself, you're a bit over the top, aren't you? That sound daft. Photographs, memories, taking them, you know, putting them in the bag. You know, you might think to yourself, I think you're going a little bit too over the top here and stuff like that. Well, I'll put it this way to you. With COVID and that, we all went through it, and there was a lot of hell to go through there. So what about this one? And what if the way things are going in the Ukraine at the moment start happening here? You don't want to go to sleep one night and wake up with a great big rumble. You don't want to say starting really enjoying your life, or or maybe we all want to have a normal life. Simple as fact is that, a normal life. Everybody wants a normal life. But what if right now our life is being held in Boris Johnson's hand right now by deciding whether or not we're going to be under attack? He's sending people and that, tanks and soldiers and guns. He's sending them to the UK army base at the moment in time. He's not doing anything at the moment because Ukraine is holding their own at the moment. Do you know what is to me as well? Is that Boris Johnson and Joe Biden are on the same with this. They said, we will not let Russia win. If we have to do, we'll join forces and we'll fight. It's really scary, because I actually looked up on the internet and it said between the bit weird, between this, it said between 17 and the 1800s was our very last time we had a war in the UK. Very last time. I don't know about you, but waking up knowing that I'm still alive, taking the kids to school, taking the kids to doing this, that and the other and stuff like that, that's supposed to be alive. Going off to work, earn money, do this, that and the other, it's supposed to be alive. And whatever else everybody does. But waiting to find out if we're all going to go through World War III. Making sure that, it's like you start thinking about things in your house. You start thinking about things around your house. This might sound really stupid. Like my kids' baby teeth. Taking, my kids' hair. Oh my goodness gracious me, that the little hair when they were babies and stuff like that. You can't take everything, which means you have to take what you can with you for the moment, hoping to goodness that nothing happens. We're all hoping that we don't have to leave our home. We don't lose loved ones. I know people die all the time, but I don't know what your opinion is going to be of this, but I have to watch the news to know exactly what's going on, because I don't want to turn off the news and then finding out that, looking through the window, that we've got tanks coming by, or that something else is going on, and then all of a sudden we're looking at I turn on the news, and then all of a sudden it's like something, it's like warning, get out of your town while you can. I don't want that. So yeah, I'm the type of person who has to keep an eye on the news, who has to find out what's going on. Please, if you're going to give me opinion, give a nice one, or at least give you a true, honest opinion.